Good afternoon, Abdul Butt.
What's happening, Derek Seguido?
I'm doing good. Welcome to Bacon No Bacon, the podcast with Abdul Butt and Derek Seguin, brought to you by Comedy Here Often Network. Everything comedy in Canada, tune into Comedy Here Often.
Comedy Here Often. Derek Seguin, very excited. You have a lot of energy in you today there, buddy. What are you drinking? What is that? Is that booze?
Apple juice.
Cider? Apple juice?
Apple juice.
All
Pure,
right.
just regular, non-alcoholized apple juice. No?
No?
Juice.
Whiskey in there?
Costco 6-pack special.
Oh,
Man,
special
I went
at
crazy
Costco.
at Costco yesterday. I really don't have to worry about my children listening to this podcast, but I bought Andy's main Christmas present at Costco yesterday.
Oh, is she in the house right now?
I think her friends might tune into this sometime, so I won't
right,
tell her.
don't
I
say
won't
it,
say
don't
what
say
it
it.
is, but I can say I bought it at Costco.
All right. You've got her a
canoe.
6-pack of apple juice.
I bought her a canoe.
A canoe. Yeah. You still have the canoe. Do you have the canoe, no?
No, it was a joke, actually.
Oh, okay. But you do have something.
But they
I
did
saw
sell
you
one, and
post-
I was tempted to buy it, so I figured that's close enough.
I thought I saw you post something that you have some sort
That
of...
was
boat.
my brother-in-law's canoe. I thought it fits good with my
That's
act.
funny.
So
Okay, I thought it was yours.
No.
Well, you had me fooled, buddy. Even all those trips on the road, I still don't know anything about you. I thought you had a canoe.
So Abdul and I were talking off screen that today as we record, this probably won't come out for a few days, but as we record right now, it is Wednesday, December 16 in the early afternoon. François Legault, the Premier of Quebec, is going on the air this afternoon to announce the new measures that were going to be put in place. Many people are anticipating a almost full-on shutdown. He came out in the paper today. He's like, or it was on a French radio show yesterday that he say, we're not going to go full-on lockdown like we did at the beginning.
Yeah.
We're going to do more similar to what Germany is doing right now for the holidays. And then upon further analysis, you look at what Germany's doing, they're fucking completely locking down everything except for food.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
So it remains to be seen. So Abdul and I have kind of decided to, other than maybe mention right out of the gate about the vaccine, which is rolling out as of today, for us living in Quebec, Abdul and I both live in Quebec, everything that we do will be sort of pondering and hypothesis. François Legault is going to speak in a couple of hours. We won't have had a chance to analyze it, to put it in the podcast. So let's try to have on nearly COVID-free bacon no bacon. Let's talk more about bacon.
It's funny that we tried to do that, like we talked about it last episode. We're like, let's try and not talk about COVID. And then COVID just keeps becoming something even bigger every fucking week in the news. So it's something else. And now there's a vaccine. Oh my God, it doesn't stop. We keep trying to fucking avoid it, and it keeps coming back. It'll never end.
But there too, that was news that François Legault talked about yesterday. There's 57,000 doses of COVID. And it's going to take up to 400,000 doses of the vaccine just to cover CHSLD and frontline workers.
Wow. Yeah, so it's not even...
So we have a long fucking way to go before we're vaccinated as a people.
Yeah,
and
for
then there still remains to be seen how long does the vaccine last. Like they're still not sure of people that have had it, how long those natural antibodies last. It's completely inconclusive right now, mainly because not enough time has gone by to have a really broad sample of like 5 years. We don't know because no one's made it to 5 years with this particular thing. I'm just booked an appointment. I'm going tomorrow. So I've had the COVID test to see if I have it. I did that with Andy.
What are you doing tomorrow? Syphilis? What are you doing?
No, tomorrow I'm going to get the antibodies test to see if I have had it, because I've been saying for the last 6 months, I really think that Andy, Jamie and I had it in January because we were all on our ass with a serious cough.
You mean when you were fucking coughing your lungs out and literally everybody who watched and listened to this podcast kept commenting, Derek, you should go get a test?
No, not that one. That one I did, and that was a pneumonia I had.
Really?
But it was a bacterial pneumonia. So I took antibiotics, and within 24 hours, I was back to 95%, and 48 hours, I was 100%. So that wasn't it. That was a bacterial infection, which was cured with antibiotics.
What did you
In
suck on?
January, though, before work started picking up again, I was just on my ass. And
Yeah.
Jamie and Andy, too, were very sick. I think Andy missed the first 2 days of school back out
Okay.
of the break. So anyway, I'm just out of curiosity. Not, I hate
So-
to think that I get it done and then find out I have had it and that would make me more reckless or careless. But I guess that make me want to research other things. Like if you have the antibody, can I still have it on my hand or in my mouth? Like, see, can I still
Yeah.
spread it? I can't spread it from the one that I had, but could I pick it up from some, aerosol and
Yeah, and you won't
regurgitate
even
it?
have any.
I'd have to look into
symptoms
that
or-
science more.
How did you?
But I mean, it
uh,
would be nice to know that I could, if I stay at home all day, do nothing, and I go to visit my mother, whatever, in a park or whatever, that I could give her a kiss and not worry about giving it to her,
if I may ask this question, how did you sign up for this test?
Well, so our friend Chantal Desjardins,
Okay.
I knew that her husband had it done, so I asked him where he had it done. I called them. They referred me to a place in the South Shore, and then I made an appointment, and I'm going to get it done tomorrow.
So it's all
private.
like.
It costs $200.
Oh, okay. So it's a private thing. It's not through the
Yeah,
healthcare?
yeah. No, it's
So
it's
why
not covered.
why are
by-
you doing it? You're just doing it for your own.
I just want to know. Yeah, like I said, the
This is like
antibodies.
the gambling man in you.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna throw down 200 to see what I got.
Yeah, see where I stand. It's more to know, from what I've gathered, I've only read a little bit about it. But if you've had it, if you have the antibodies, like if you have the vaccine, your capacity to spread it is much less, right? Because as COVID enters your body already has the antibodies to neutralize it.
Okay.
So I would literally have to have somebody blow in my mouth, and then within an hour blow in somebody else's mouth. If you have the vaccine or if you have the natural antibodies.
Yeah.
But beyond time is the thing. I think that even the chickenpox vaccine, we don't have conclusive evidence on 20 years down the road or 40 years down the road, because it's not even 40 years old yet. So we can't measure that. But I do think that, and like we've said before, all these SARS and the coronaviruses, they do mutate. So,
Yeah.
COVID-19 could become COVID 2022.
Oh yeah, did you see that there is it's already been mutating?
Yeah. Lovely.
They found another strain of it in the UK that's going around, but they're not 100% sure if it's gotten, like, if the vaccine won't work on this new strain. They think it might still work on it, because they say
Okay.
vaccines usually, or viruses usually change throughout time anyways. Like, it's a normal occurrence.
Yeah.
It's rare that they change so much that the vaccine isn't 100% effective. It might go down to 70% effective with the change, but they always manipulate the vaccine to keep on top of the virus after it changes. Like, for example, they mentioned influenza. Every year they have to
Right.
work on it to change the vaccine just slightly so that it can fight the new strain that's kind of
Oh yeah,
going
every
around.
year they add dozens of new.
Yeah, I
things to
remember
that
there was one year where, like,
cocktail.
they gave everyone the flu shot, and then people were still getting the flu, and they were like, well, fuck, it's because it changed itself before we knew it changed itself, and we already vaccinated everybody, which is very interesting. We're all learning a lot about vaccines and germs and all
and
this shit now. So it's
communicable
kind of a
diseases. Yeah.
What's that?
And communicable
Yeah.
diseases.
Well, I thought
The,
about it this morning about, like, people, remember we always sneeze and you're always, you cough, you cover your mouth, you sneeze, you cover your mouth. We kind of were in that already of don't spread your germs.
Certainly more than 50
So I don't know
years
why
ago.
everybody was so shocked when, like, everything, we were like, well, I can't go out and I can't. It's like, yeah, well, we've already established what germs are.
Yeah.
So now just understand that germs,
Ask Howie Mandel.
this is how these things travel. Yeah, exactly. Ask Howie Mandel.
The interesting thing, did you see they had the boxes of the vaccines rolling in, like coming by UPS to various places or whatever, and they put the name up on the screen, I think, of the vaccine, and it's a SARS vaccine, so it probably isn't just for COVID-19. It's probably for all these coronavirus type SARS.
Well, I think that's what it is. I think from what I understand,
so it's basically a micro
type of SARS
focused flu shot. Basically,
well,
it covers
SARS,
several.
Yeah, so it's basically I'm sure it's based off of the flu shot.
Yeah,
but I think SARS stands for they're all like it's a respiratory thing, right? Isn't that what SARS is? Is just
syndrome of some kind.
SARS is just like the abbreviation for some sort of what is it? I don't know if I have it. Coronavirus versus SARS. SARS is the name of the respiratory illness that caused SARS-CoV. The acronym stands for Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome. That's it. So it is a SARS. It is a SARS.
So it is a SARS. We knew that, yeah. And I think this vaccine is going to cover several.
Oh, that's possible.
It's probably all the known.
It's probably it probably covers all the original
all the known
flu.
corona ones, yeah. Interesting.
I mean, we are no doctors.
Stuff. It's good to know that that's on the way. So that's one thing that it's been approved. So we have to let's have faith in the scientist community and the government that approved it, the government body. And now François Legault will be announcing. I know that as of right now, 94% of Quebecois people are in red zones. The last two orange zones fell to red today. So really, if you don't live in Nukchuak or Kuujjuaq or one of those places, you are fucking red zone.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. It's Quebec is all of a red. Well, Quebec was.
So as of today, Gatineau fell in the red zone, but Ottawa on the Ontario side is still like orange or yellow even.
Yeah,
the comedy club in Ottawa is still open. That's it's the last bastion. It's like in one of those apocalypse movies when the last city before it fell.
Like the only comedy club open in the country right now?
I think.
Or the Maritimes.
New West is open.
Where's it?
The Rick Bronson's place in BC.
Really? You think BC is still open?
I think it is still
BC
open.
hasn't shut down? I know Alberta's out of fucking hand.
Alberta's.
Those fucking cowboys are fucking spitting in each other's mouths over there.
Yeah, man.
The cowboys are loving it.
Hey, does everybody like my holiday, my Christmassy backdrop?
I love it.
It's real,
I love
by the
it.
way. It's real. People are gonna think it's a green screen. No,
it's real. I love it, and if I may ask, I know Christmas trees are very hard to come by.
Fuck yeah! What the hell?
How hard was it?
It was hard to find it.
So what did you?
Now I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready for when I get the
trichotomy.
Hello, everybody. This is the podcast with
fucking
Abdul,
Christ, buddy. Imagine that. Imagine my podcast partner talks out of one of those things. Oh man, right to the top, buddy.
You can't hear it because it's going into the sound thing, but
this is how I imagine it would sound.
Oh God. That's a perfect classic Derek Seguin. Man, imagine that. Imagine I'm wheeling you around in 20 years with an oxygen tank and we're fucking going to shows.
Fuck.
I hope not, but fuck
I just hope
Derek.
you're not wheeling around a cadaver like Weekend at Bernie's.
Every time we podcast, there's just, I don't even know if you're smoking at the time, but there's always cigarette smoke just coming up from the bottom of the screen.
It's coming out of my pores.
Yeah, you just fucking too much smoke everywhere. There it is. Get it out of your lungs.
But to answer your question, it was very hard to find a Christmas tree. All the three places that over the last 20 years, I've called it kind of alternate between those three places to get it. All three of them had none.
Wow. So was the price inflated? Did you have to pay a lot more than it normally
Well, I ended
costs?
up buying it at the Renault Depot. It's like, it's not the best, certainly not the close to the best tree I've ever had.
Yeah.
But $45, I seem to remember it always being around that price.
$45?
But I got better trees, better, fatter, bigger, taller, older trees.
I gotta say though, I was thinking about this the other day. What is it with society? This is an interesting theory I find with a lot of things. Like we're always like self-aware of everything until it comes to something that we take part in. But how come throughout the entire year, we're all about saving the trees, and we're like, don't cut down trees. We need trees, more trees. Stop cutting down the trees. And then at Christmas time, we're like, I need a tree. Cut that
Fuck
tree.
the trees.
Not enough trees. We need to cut more trees.
Well, I think
what is
these ones
happening?
are specific in where we sit in 2020. The trees that we bring into our house as Christmas trees. Most people, some people actually still go out to the forest and do it, which I think is lovely, because the size of tree you need for a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
If it grows naturally, it's probably on the side of a highway somewhere.
I think
and
like 8 to 10 years or something to grow it.
And it'll be 10 years old, but it'll be shaded by all other things. They're actually pretty perfect, these trees that grow near the road, where you've got say deciduous tree growing along the line, and then in the summertime they create such a shade that the trees end up staying like 8 feet tall because they can't grow because they don't get enough sunlight in that. And I don't
think they'd grow taller if there was
if
more
they had
trees?
full direct sunlight all the time, they would. Yeah, like some places, like when we went up in northern Ontario, it's mostly all evergreen tree, right?
Yeah.
It's all
it's a beautiful
not
drive.
carnivorous, but coniferous trees.
Coniferous. Yeah.
And they grow really tall. Let's see, they're like
they're
100
beautiful.
feet tall.
But
where there's those mixed forests where they have like maple trees and oak trees and whatever and birch trees, and then there's some of these mix in. There's usually in a clearing you'll have a bunch of these, but the ones in the little forest stay small because the bigger trees shade them.
so you think we're doing the trees a favor? Is that what you?
For those people that go out in the forest and get them, I don't think they're doing that ecosystem any harm.
But wouldn't it be
Right.
better if we just had all the trees? Like, I wonder how many trees get cut every year for Christmas time. Like, imagine how much CO2 that would remove from the air if you had those trees still around.
But for, I'd say 95% of Christmas trees, they are grown on a Christmas tree farm.
Yeah, they're
so
farmed,
if
yeah.
it wasn't for the Christmas tree market, those trees would never have been planted. There'd be soy there instead, or fucking beets. I don't know what they would plant.
Well, maybe
What am
they
I-
would just left the trees. Maybe it would just be trees. We wouldn't need all that land to have a farm. I don't know. I wonder what the
People that farm are gonna
environmental
farm
impact
something
is.
of Christmas trees.
Yeah. How much is it like the CO? Does it change the CO2 levels? I don't know. Maybe it goes down. Maybe it goes up in the January, like after or December, because they cut all the trees. Does that happen? Has any scientist ever sat there and sniffed out the CO2?
I don't know.
That'd be
I
an
doubt it.
interesting. Yeah, I'm sure, because then you'd be hailed as the fucking Grinch. You killed Christmas. We're not
Well,
allowed
again,
trees
like
anymore.
I don't like talk about renewal. Christmas tree farms, when they cultivate this year's thing, you can be sure that they've already planted next year's. And
Oh,
say,
definitely. Yeah. They
there's a
have them
constant
going for like
rotation.
8 to 10
There's
years.
going to
Yeah.
be trees planted in the same place anyway. So
All right, not to shit on Christmas.
anyway, and more and more people, as time goes on, more and more people have the fake Christmas tree.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, it doesn't make sense. It's like you cut down a tree for what, 3 weeks? Just put it in your house, and that's it. And then then it's fucking garbage.
Well, it's tradition. It's just tradition. Why
Yeah,
the
but
fuck
it
do
could-
Muslims not eat bacon? Let's because fucking
we're not-
800 years
we're
ago,
not
bacon
doing
was
anything
bad
to
for
the
you because
planet.
people didn't know how to butcher it.
It's not doing
It's
anything to
just
the planet.
tradition.
That's not killing the planet. The pigs are not fucking. You're actually
saving
making the
pigs?
planet. You're actually ruining the planet more by eating pigs, because now you have to farm them. Now there's more farms with pigs, creating more pollution.
Okay, well, I could say the same thing about, you guys eat more goats than we do, but
That's a load of shit. We don't eat more goats.
you do. How many
That's
goats have you eaten in your life?
I don't think I've had goat maybe once. I think.
Oh, well, that's
I think
twice as many
the
times
West
as
Indies. The West Indies eat a lot of goats.
me. Well, what do you guys eat? Lamb?
Lamb, cow, chicken.
Fish. Look at fish.
Fish.
There you go. You eat a lot of fish.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about you as
Well,
a
I don't
Muslim
eat a
anymore.
lot
I'm
of
just
fish, but yeah, I
talking
eat
about
fish.
you as Abdul. You eat
Yeah.
a lot of fish.
Yeah, we eat
Fishing
fish.
Fish are endangered right now. The
Fish are
fisheries
endangered.
running
Yeah.
out.
Oh fuck, dude. First of all, I go up. I catch most of my fish. Second of all,
Yeah. The
Second
fish
of
you
all.
had there at whatever shitty
well, yeah,
diner
obviously
we
not
went
when
to
I'm in fucking the
Brunswick.
Boston Pizza and fucking. I didn't go get the shrimp they put in my taco, but but definitely no, yeah, fish is a fucking disgusting thing, man. Have you seen those documentaries on like fish farms and how they're like Well, Robert's what is son-in-law, his daughter-in-law's or his stepdaughter's boyfriend is a marine biologist. Remember he was telling us?
Right. Yeah.
He was telling us that apparently in Canada there's absolutely no wild caught fish. Even if it says wild caught, the regulation is just it's as long as they're in a net in an enclosed area in the ocean, that's considered wild caught.
Huh.
Some shit like that. That's what he was saying. I remember how.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And I watched like some documentaries on like I think it was Norway or Finland. I think it is. That whole area, like if you get fish from there and even Vietnam, oh my God, do not eat that. That is like,
Oh no.
No, they just throw feed, and the feed that they throw has like chemicals in it that they like and medications and things, and it's polluting the shit out of the ocean. Yeah, it's crazy. There's some wild stuff, but yeah, I guess
My ex-wife's cousin, I think for a year worked in one of the fisheries out in BC.
Okay.
And he said, don't eat any, like, we look for Canadian salmon or whatever. Don't eat the Canadian stuff because the fisheries here in Canada, they fish, like they pull out, oh, this one's got 4 tails and 6 eyes. Okay, that's Canadian. We're sending the good stuff to Japan. They
really?
They take all the good ones out and send them to Japan apparently because
really
they pay like 3 times as much per kilo.
That's very interesting. Because that's the other thing too. Yeah,
cancer-ridden fucking fish.
They get sick. They get sick and they grow weird shit because they're in enclosed areas and the water doesn't filter properly, so it just kind of stays in the net and all the shit and everything is just in there and they're eating and breathing it and it's really bad.
That's why I don't eat fish. You shouldn't.
Fish, I agree. Buying fish from a grocery store after seeing that, no, it's disgusting. I think it's
but like I was going to say, because they fucking live where they shit, they literally breathe in their own shit water. But I guess some of those corporate farms,
that's terrible.
Cows and pigs live in their own shit too, which is very sad.
Oh yeah, in those farms, dude. Did you watch? There's that. Remember the guy who did Super Size Me, the documentary? Yeah. Did you watch his second one?
Food Inc.
No, he did another one. I think it's called is it Super Size Me 2? I think it's Super Size Me 2, but it's about he opens his own chicken restaurant. And he goes through the regulations to show
fucking 2 episodes in a row that the dog falls down the stairs during the taping.
He's like trying to keep quiet. He's like, I know he's podcasting. Fuck, and he just slips and falls down the stairs. Arf. They what the fuck were we talking about?
Food Inc. 2.
Yeah, no, Super Size Me 2, I think it is. Yeah, you should watch it. He opens his own chicken restaurant and he goes through the regulations to show how easy it is to say your chicken is cage free,
grain fed,
grain, and like cage free, all it has to be is that they could be housed indoors, but they need like a 1 meter by 1 meter outdoor area that they can walk out to at any moment. So they just basically open a 1 meter by 1 meter section opening and they cage it in. So that and that's it. That's cage free. That's like free range or whatever they call it. Like it's an interesting it's an interesting documentary. Yeah, he did a great job with it, and he opens it and he shows the marketing behind it, how you can like show like it looks like you're buying it and it looks good for you, but it's actually all horrible. But he's following the regulations. He's showing what the actual companies do, how they bullshit everyone, and they're like, this is free range and grain fed and healthy for you.
Being a non-vegetarian, a definite carnivore, I think I've seen enough food documentaries. I
want to start hunting my own shit and just fishing my own. I wish I lived somewhere further that I could do that.
I don't know where one would go to hunt
raise your own chickens. You can raise your own chickens.
In Brassard, I think we're not allowed.
I would look into it. You'd be surprised. I think
Angela's neighbor raises pheasant. Pheasant or quail? Quail.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. But you need to eat 6 of them for a meal too.
Yeah, but you could look into it, man. I have a friend in Chattagee that has chickens. You're actually allowed. I used to own a chicken when I was younger. I had it as a pet. Yeah, I had 2 chickens in my lifetime.
Well, I saw a chicken playing America the Beautiful on America's Got Talent last night. Wait, what's that song? America.
How did it play? How did it
America.
play the jingle? How did
On
it?
the piano. It was
No.
pecking a piano. I swear.
Wow,
Google it.
I did. Did it
Chicken
win?
playing America the Beautiful. I think that's the name of the song, isn't it?
That was America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
We're down to chickens now. Have we ran out of people?
American chickens have talent.
They've run out of people. I guess they're all dying of COVID. Fuck, they're down to chickens.
Yeah, seriously. How is that not a show? Like the scientist guy that broke the case of the COVID vaccine. How is that guy not winning some kind of talent contest?
Yeah,
Right? Or the guy in Sweden that found out how to turn just 100% of your garbage, be it you throw away a chicken leg or a paper wrapper or a fucking
Well, I think they do win.
carton of milk, and you can turn it into clean energy en plus.
Wow. Well, I think
How's that
I'm
guy
sure
not
they're
getting
winning something. They must be winning awards in some country or some sort of an award for whatever field they're in. They're just
Yeah, but
not
they're up
winning
for like
the
Nobel
spectacles
prizes where
that-
they give out one every 4 years. Let's see, where these morons with a chicken that pecks a fucking song on a piano, they're fucking up for $1 million prize every week.
Well, that's how dumb society is, my friend. That's what we're
Yeah.
all waiting for. We're just trying to. We want to see a chicken win something. That's what we want. We don't care about science. If you can give a chicken an award, that's what I'm tuning into. I don't want to meet the guy that solved any fucking hard issues in
crisis,
life.
any world crisis. Yeah, the
Yeah,
guy that
no.
turned Bill Gates turns shit into drinking water, but we all begrudge him for being so rich. Fuck that guy, man.
Yeah, I wonder about that.
making
I
us
think I
drink
said
shit.
that last time. Like, I think it's because we're putting faces to all these rich people that it just makes it easier to hate on them. Like, I don't really.
People just automatically assume that these mega rich are just part of that Illuminati, whatever, the secret society that
Well,
controls everything.
I
But Bill
think there's
Gates just
this-
seems to be doing great things all the time, day
there's
after
some,
day. I hear
there's some stuff about Bill Gates. I think there's some stuff out there about him being a very competitive. Like he's putting a lot of people out of business just competitively in his market.
Oh yeah, this is a public service, and there's a class action lawsuit. Microsoft lost a class action lawsuit where they have to pay out $500 million to Canadians who purchased any Windows or Microsoft operating system Office between
I've heard about
1998 and 2010. I went on it today, and in that 12-year period, I could remember, I bought 3 laptops and I bought my Microsoft Office licensing thing that was good for 10 computers or whatever.
Okay.
So I filled out the details and tried to remember where I bought the things. I'm sure I bought more. I used to get my laptop stolen every fucking 6 months, it felt like. So I'm sure I bought more, but I put 3 laptop and the Office that I still have the license for. And they're sending me $70 or something like that.
Oh, cool, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
$70.
no, I did. I think I
Pays for
just saw
half
that.
of my antibodies vaccine or whatever test that I'm going for.
There you go. Fucking McAfee's refunding you for a real life virus.
There you
Just
go,
get
Bill Gates.
I'm surprised McAfee didn't get behind the vaccine. I thought there'd be a sponsor on that. Should we get?
I think it's
should we get
pronounced McAfee.
Is it McAfee?
McAfee.
No,
yeah.
it's McAfee.
No, it's McAfee.
Did you see the documentary about him?
No, the antivirus people.
The dude, the John McAfee. I'm not calling him McAfee. It's McAfee.
Okay.
I
You
saw the
say potato,
documentary.
I say you're an idiot.
Dude, you should watch the documentary. You know what he does?
What?
He's a creep. He's a fucking nut.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he like hires like maids and stuff like that, and like fucking housekeepers that come to his house.
Do you work?
There's a part in there that he pays these women. He shits in their mouth.
Oh God.
Yeah, excuse my language, but he has a hammock
Oh come on.
that he sits on, and they lay down underneath, and the antivirus guy, the one who Bill Gates works with and puts his antivirus in every one of his brand new computers,
I think he's using
shits
Norton now.
in
Norton.
women's mouths.
He's using Norton, I think.
No, buddy,
It's
I got a
still
brand
McAfee?
new laptop, and it had McAfee from it's a PC.
How does that not ruin somebody's brand?
Buddy, they fucking run the shit. They do whatever they want. Yeah, he was caught. Then they have the maids and they interview them all and everything, man.
Oh God.
Dude, Bill Gates went to fucking Epstein's Island. What are you talking about?
Did he?
Yeah. Oh wait, let me double check that. Now you got me confused. Yeah, he did. Bill Gates was at his island. Let me
So was
make
George
sure.
Clooney, so
Well, there you
Clooney's not
go.
a bad
And
guy.
George Clooney, fuck. Talk about another guy who's on top of the world. His wife's like a UN what like she runs shit.
yeah, human
They
rights
run
lawyer.
Yeah, they run shit, man. Human rights. That's all hearsay.
See, no, I don't know, man. I don't like.
I was thinking about you the other day too, because every time we'd go on road trips, and I'm like, we're in the car talking about these things, and you're like, I like to think people are good, and I'm like, no, man, they're all fucking assholes. And now the world's crumbling, and like we're getting all these.
Well, why would Bill
things.
Gates try to eradicate diseases and bring water to people that don't have water if he was?
Look, man, this
deep
is all
down a
things that we
jerk?
need to find out, because I don't know. I wonder why.
I
Yeah,
don't
Bill
think he's a
Gates
jerk.
met
I
with
think he's
Jeffrey
good.
Epstein many
When it came to
times.
business, he's cutthroat and competitive. But I mean, when you're trying to beat out other really rich people, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know.
No, I agree. Like, I'm trying to figure it out myself as well. I would like to know, but there is some sort of a. I know people like to use that Illuminati stuff. I think there's obviously a group of the wealthy that, like, come on, they obviously work together with things. That's how they help each other. Look at any level of there's social clubs, right down to people that are not even making that much money. You know, like. There's
Yeah.
social clubs. They exist for a
Right.
reason. It's people that get together and they work
Yeah, like
together.
the Rotary Club. The Rotary
There
Club
you
and
go,
Bill
yeah.
Gates both cured polio. They eradicated polio. There was only like 4 cases.
While
in
they were
2000.
probably smuggling drugs through the back door from some other fucking funneling money fund that they have. I don't
And
know.
then
I'm just
the
making that part up.
the McAfee guy would,
Yeah, well, he's
would
shitting in
throw it
women's
out
mouths.
his back door, and that's how they launder the money.
That's it.
It goes in the back door. It's got to come out the back door somehow. Might as well be into my maid's mouth.
Dude, you got to
Oh,
watch that
gross.
documentary. He went through a whole thing. I think he killed a guy, and because he lives. I can't remember one of those islands, like Dominican, or he's living somewhere or Costa Rica or something, where like the
Where
laws
there's no
are.
extradition laws.
Yeah, you could do whatever you want. You pay off the right people, man. You just do whatever you want. So that's like his thing. I think there was something where he murdered a guy too, but they can't prove it.
All my
he
kids are
killed-
leaving. What's
He
happening?
killed his. Yeah, they once the podcast start, the kids are like.
When I start
"Fuck
smoking
this."
in the house, yeah, they're like, "We're out of here. Fuck this."
Yeah, that's what it is, eh? You smoke in the house only during the podcast.
Yeah.
So why don't you set up the office in the garage? You can smoke all you want.
It's cold in there. Plus, I've
So
said
you
it
sh-
before.
so the kids have
it's
to go
their
outside.
fault. It's their fault I don't do it in the garage because I set up an office and 10 minutes later it became the entrepot for all shit that they don't want. They just throw it in the garage on my desk.
So just start liquidating, man. Fucking Kijiji.
No, it's garbage.
what?
They just throw garbage in there, like fucking recycle bin is on there. They just, they don't respect. Plus, I'm not good at tidying up the garage. I have too much shit. I still haven't found a place for my generator.
You have a generator?
Yeah. It's still in the box, but I have nowhere to put it.
What?
I guess I should build
When did you-
an enclosure in the backyard where I would actually plug it into the electrical system of the house.
Well, that would be preparing yourself. What is your dog dying?
Reese
he-
left, so she gets all upset.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe she
Because
ate
technically
something off
she's
the
Reese's
tree.
dog, but every fucking second Reese can leave the house. I'm stuck with this stupid bitch.
So who's in charge of the dog? Like, does
Reese, when he's home, he's like, oh, this, that. I'm like, I've just been with her for 8 hours, you dick.
But generally speaking, like when you have a dog, you go, okay, I got 4 hours or whatever it is. I don't know. I never owned a dog, but I know that there's like a time. I've got to get back home within this amount of time before the dog shits on the carpet. So
Doesn't care.
okay,
he'll
so
send
he
me-
doesn't
he'll
care.
send
So
me a
that's
text.
you that has to go. Shit, is someone home within 4
Yeah.
hours?
Yeah. Even though it's not my dog and it's a dog I didn't
I don't
want.
wanna say
As a
you're
matter of fact,
parenting wrong,
I
but you're fucking
completely
parenting
vetoed
wrong.
it. I said, no dog. And then when
Wow.
finally I relented when he showed up with the dog, I'm like, all right, well, you have to vacuum at least twice a week and pick up the poop every day. Kid's picked up poop maybe 3 times in his life and doesn't even know where we keep the vacuum. It's bullshit. I'm bullied. I'm bullied by my own children.
I like
totally
how you.
bullied.
I like how you say it's bullshit. Like there's an HR department you can complain to. You are the fucking
Yeah.
HR department, man. What's wrong with you? Why don't you
The
learn
HR
these
department
things?
gets no respect.
This is bullshit. I'm getting screwed over here, man. What kind of fucking job is this? We're saying, let me get to HR.
Seriously, I don't have any dog. I consciously didn't buy a dog, and yet I have 2 dogs with me all day, every day. While everyone else is out gallivanting, I'm here putting up with the fucking Michael Vick dog fights.
Well, hey man, maybe you should just start fucking dog fights. And
speaking of Kijiji, maybe that's what I'll do. I'll put the dogs up on Kijiji and see what happens if they even notice that they're gone.
At least fish. See how much you can get for them. Put them up. See if you get any bites. Any nibbles on that?
Excuse the pun. The dog bites.
Let's get a couple nibbles on that post.
I think Sobi can read. When she sees me put the post, she'll bite my ass. Hey, I know we usually only talk about football at the end of the podcast, but that football game last night, today being Tuesday, last night was the Monday night game between the Ravens and the Browns. Okay. I called it last week that it was going to be a good game. Tabarnak. It was such a good game.
What was so great? What happened in it?
First of all, so the over-under was 45.5 points.
Now, what does that mean for people listening who don't know what over-under is?
Over-under is total score by both teams. Like, so the total score...
So the total score up together...
predicted that the total score, adding both team scores together, so say the game ended 24-21.
Yeah.
Total score would be 45.
Okay.
That's basically what the bookmakers predicted was going to happen.
Okay.
The final score was 47-42.
Okay. So you have to choose over. So you're saying if you bet over,
anything over 45.5 wins.
Wins. Okay.
So I took the over, and they scored 87 points. Now here's where the numbers thing becomes super. Like my buddy Robin, he at last week's Monday night game, I think, or Tuesday night game, was Philadelphia against somebody. Seattle, I want to say. Anyway, he had 3 really good bets, and it was like the under and Philadelphia losing by 7, which they were losing the whole game. The last 3 minutes of the game, threw a long bomb, scored a touchdown. So they came within 15 or whatever. Then kickoff, the other team has basically stopped playing because they've already won the game. There's almost no way that they can come back. Anyway, so like 8 seconds left, another long bomb, timeout, scored a touchdown. So now they're within 9 points.
Okay.
They're within 9 points. So, they still, there's 0 seconds on the clock now. 0 seconds. They decide to go for a 2-point conversion. For no reason. It doesn't help them. It doesn't do anything. But the spread was 7.5 points. So if they kick the extra point, it's good. Anybody that chose the spread wins. It's fine. No, they fucking go for 2 points. They get it. Now they've won by 7 points, or they've lost by 7 points. The spread was 7.5. My friend Robin lost all of his bets, like $1,500 worth of bets, because of a play that meant nothing. Last night's game, the Ravens were 3.5 point favorites, I think. I took them to win straight up so that the points didn't matter to me. But the whole game, they were basically up 2 touchdowns the whole game. Like they were up 14, say, and then the Browns would score a touchdown, so it would be 14-7. But then they would score another one, 21. So 21, and then they would go for, you know what I mean? There was always a buffer of 1 score. Yeah. They get to the last quarter. Baltimore had to punt the ball away. Now it's tied. They tied the game.
Okay.
And back and forth, they both scored touchdowns. Lamar Jackson, the MVP of the league last year, goes out with cramps, which I honestly thought he shit his pants. I think he shit his pants on the field and had to go to the locker room to fucking clean his ass. Because the way he ran out, they're saying he's cramping, but he's kind of running on his tippy toes with really short little steps. It looked like a guy that had just shit his pants. But anyway, he said it was cramps. So he's gone. This backup quarterback comes in, does nothing. They punt it away. Cleveland takes the lead. See, I'm like, no, because I had Cleveland to win, and I had it all parlayed with Buffalo the night before.
Okay.
Buffalo and the under, which hit. Now I've got the over with the Ravens-Browns, which hit in the first half. Now I just need Baltimore to win, and fucking while Lamar Jackson's in the locker room shitting his pants, fucking Cleveland takes the lead. Right when it's their turn to go in, the backup quarterback goes down, hurt. His knee gets blown out. He gets tackled all weird and crunches his knee. So now there's no quarterback. They have no quarterback. Luckily, he sold it. The backup quarterback laid down there for a while, gave Lamar Jackson enough time to wipe his ass and come out of the locker room. So he was able to go in. Doesn't he drive them down the field, scored a touchdown, tie the game. The Browns go the other way, and you're like, oh my God, they're gonna fucking. And I think they went for a field goal and missed it or whatever. And then Baltimore goes down with like 16 seconds left, no timeout, long bomb, whatever, spike the ball, kick the 56-yard field goal for the win with 2 seconds left. So then 2 seconds left. So they're up 45-42 with 2 seconds left. That means they still have to kick off.
Okay.
Right? So they kick off, and the Browns, no time for a play of any kind. They just start laterally. You know those lateral things, like where you're just
throwing the ball back to each other?
If you're going to get tackled, just throw the ball away. Let somebody else. That goes on for like 6 minutes or whatever. It's so long. Lateral, across the field, lateral.
Wow, really?
But they're getting backed up slowly, and now everyone's running out of gas. Football players are... their conditioning is to be full pin for like 10 seconds at a time.
Yeah.
This play is going on for like a minute, 30 seconds. So the bigger guys are just like, they would try to tackle and fall, and then they wouldn't even get up. They would just lie there like, I'm gassed. But now there's less and less guys that have enough gas to get behind the guy with the ball.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. You can't throw it forward. You have to only pass it
Always
back.
back, yeah.
So you need to have people behind you. So the last guy on the Browns team that had the ball, he's there and he's looking behind them on both sides. Nobody bothered to come back. They're all like, fuck this, I'm burnt. So now he's in his end zone and he's like, I have nowhere to do. And he gets tackled out of the end zone. So that's a safety, which is 2 points. That mean nothing, right? Like all they needed to do was tackle him. Anywhere on the field, the game was over.
Yeah.
But because they tackled him in the end zone, because the guy had nowhere else to pass the ball, that added 2 points to the game.
Okay.
So it made it, instead of 45-42 for all those people that had Cleveland plus 3.5, all they needed was for the game to end.
Yeah.
But now it ends with 2 more points. Now it's 47-42. All those people lost their money. And anybody that had Baltimore now at minus 3.5 wins. It's like...
Oh, man.
Just when you think like, okay, well, this is it. There's no more plays. There's only 2 seconds left. They can't score. They fucking give up 2 points, which is the only way you can score 2 points.
Why would you even
NFL
give it up? Why
football.
wouldn't you just run out of bounds or something before you go into the end zone?
There's not enough time. 2 seconds is not enough time to do it. There was
No,
zero.
but like, why didn't he
zeros
just
on the
fucking just lay on the ground and let someone touch him, like out of the end zone, so you don't lose 2 points?
But they don't care about the 2 points. The 2 points means nothing to either team.
Right.
So it only means something to people betting. It's
Well,
the
doesn't
only people that
it
are
doesn't
affected.
mean like on your stats, like the amount of points against you doesn't hurt, doesn't
No.
it doesn't show your
In cases
your
of ties,
weakness
it's
in
whoever
sports?
won. So that does in minor sports, I think, but no one's thinking about that in the moment. You're thinking about
Okay.
trying to win the game.
Yeah.
So anyway, super excited. 47-40.
Yeah.
They tied a record from a 98-year ago record, the most rushing touchdown in one game, which was 9. But they scored more than 9 touchdowns. Anyway, it was so exciting. And having money on, like you asked me, why do I bet? I was so much more invested in it because of the money. And it was so, again, if I would have lost, I'd probably be saying that was the worst fucking football game I ever saw in my life.
Right,
Stupid.
exactly.
But Matt, it was just really good. It was cold too, so the players were slipping all over the place. Like Lamar Jackson changed his shoes from the first half because he was slipping all over the place in the first half. He put new cleats on with longer spikes, whatever, for the second half.
Put on the ice tires.
Kind of thing, yeah.
The winters, baby. Put on those winters.
But what a game. Like, remember last week we talked about the Giants Seahawks game that after halftime was 8-5. Again with a safety. What kind of score is 8-5? I think the score of this game was like 30-something to 20-something at halftime. It was they were already well over the predicted total points. So it was super exciting. Like just watching a lot of scoring, a lot of amazing catches, crazy penalties. Super exciting.
Very exciting. I don't still see the point of the betting though.
All right. Well, the betting, no, but
I get that
if you
people
love
like sports.
If you love sport,
Yeah.
that was a game.
Right. To watch. Yeah. I'd like
game,
to see the
announcers
highlights.
the announcers even called it the game of the year in the NFL.
Oh, really?
The best game so far this year.
Well,
in the
yeah.
NFL.
I mean, has it been an eventful year in the NFL this year so far, or it's still kind
There's
of?
been some doozies.
Yeah?
Like last
Okay.
week, that Tampa Bay was it Tampa Bay against shit. Tom Brady was meeting somebody big last week. I forget who it was now. It was a really good game also.
So now you won your bets last week?
So this particular weekend, I went 11-5. Pretty decent. I'm sure there was some crazy upsets this
And
this week. What the fuck?
So your friend lost. You said your friend lost how much money on this?
This game, I don't know. This was the last week's Philadelphia
Oh, okay,
game.
right, all right, right.
That stupid 2-point conversion.
Man,
that again,
the
like I
money
said,
is
it
just
meant
insane.
nothing to anybody, but they still did it. Yeah. So last week's game was the.
Yeah, well, we may as well roll through the picks. What do you got? What was the? What'd you do last week? Did you do?
What was that game? The Bucks last week was so good. Or was that this week? Maybe it was this week that was really good.
I'm not an avid.
The
watcher
Chiefs,
of
the Chiefs and the
sports.
Bucks. Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady, Chiefs and Bucks.
I
2
do
weeks
like
ago.
hockey. I think if anything, that's it.
I
I'm
like
not a
hockey.
football guy.
I love watching hockey.
I'll watch hockey. I like hockey. I like
But hockey,
basketball.
maybe because they play so often, right? Football is special because it's only once a week.
I know. I like football. I find it very interesting when I watch it. But I can't get behind it's so long and so like, okay, they go 10 seconds and whistles, everybody stop. Let's
Yeah.
reset. We got to get it all back to the way it was. Okay, go. And then we all do that for 5 seconds. Like, all right, stop,
Yeah,
reset. It's so fucking
and
boring.
They can burn up to 39 seconds every play. So
Wow.
literally, there's
It's very boring to me.
8 times more time passing on the clock than is
Yeah.
actually being played time.
Right. It's such a bullshit fucking. It's like why I can't get like cards. I can't play cards. I hate cards. It's just like a
Really?
thing that I'll play here and there, but I can't. I mean, I played poker with you. I don't know anything about it. Fuck. Everyone was getting pissed because I just go, I'm in, and I just throw down and I was winning. I actually won the whole pot, man. I won that game.
Did you?
that we
That's
played.
right.
Yeah,
At
and
Ryan's
I
place,
fucked
eh?
up my Vice. I had a Vice News fucking audition, and I fucked it up because this is why I don't gamble. I fucked it up because I stayed till like 1:30 in the morning because I'm like I'm in, man. I'm right to the end. It was me and Dinah's brother. We fucking were right till the end, and everybody left. And it was just me and him and Ryan, and fucking I won the pot. I've never played poker in my life. I won the pot, and I fucked up my Vice audition because I was exhausted. And I went home. I slept like 4 hours, showed up all like unprepared. Well, I was prepared, but the weather was fucked up and everything on top of it. I was like, never again. I'm done.
See, sounds
Waste time.
like you've got a gambling problem. My gambling's never
was a
affected
hell of a
my
gambling
professional
problem.
career.
It's a hell of a gambling problem, man. It's a fucking shit. It's a waste of time. It's just time. It takes so much time. We started playing cards at like 8 o'clock or 7.
Yeah.
Fucking 1:30 in the morning. I'm still there. This is why
commitment.
people in jail play cards. They have time. I don't have time like that.
Oh man. Well, I enjoy it. I enjoyed the football,
Well, no, I mean, if you enjoy it and you got the time to sit around and
but I
watch
shouldn't gamble. You're right. The gambling is
Gambling is just a waste of
gambling's
fucking
got to
money.
be up there. I mean, it's almost ruined my life a few times. So it's silly that I should even dabble with it. And,
I don't know why you gamble. I feel like you should be far away from gambling. Out of all the experiences you've had in your life with gambling,
Yeah.
you should fucking
And now
run
money's
as
a
fast
lot
as you
tighter too, so I have to be careful. And I have been being relatively careful. I'm not gambling amounts of money that could ruin me or hurt my family. Or
can. I
anything.
hope not.
Just
yeah.
annoy me. I'm gambling amounts that it's annoying. It's still enough to make me pissed off.
Yeah, which is why I don't think it's a healthy thing to do. I think
Yeah.
you should. I mean, who am I? I'm not your father. I can't tell you. But I think as a friend who cares about you, I don't enjoy watching you gamble. I can tell you that. I don't enjoy it at all. I hate
Yeah,
it.
my family doesn't like it either. Although
hate
last
it.
night they were like, "That's fun." I was screaming.
You know, one of the most annoying things fucking driving with you when you're fucking gambling and you're like, I got to choose my picks, and then you're swearing and you're like, the fucking game. And I'm like, dude, you're just, what are you doing to yourself? You're just making yourself miserable. You're like, okay, you want to drive? I got to set my miserable life up. So you're picking your fucking bets throughout the day, and then fucking come game time, you're like, oh, fuck this.
cancel the
Fuck
show.
It's like you just invested a whole day of trying to pick who's going to win so that you can be miserable at the end of the day.
Super wrong.
You just imagine if you invested that time into anything else, like anything, a hobby, a fucking career, I don't know, helping somebody, I don't know, do something, or just nothing is probably better than gambling.
I do. I have all those things too, dude. I have 3 kids that I take care of and feed
Yeah,
and spend time
but
with.
the gambling
I
is
have
like-
a hobby of like renovation sort of.
Yeah, you're doing stuff, but the gambling sucks life out of people.
Yeah, well, I
don't
have
know.
life to give.
I like. All right, let's hear your picks this week, Derek. After that long rant of
I just,
gambling is the worst.
who
do you got?
Mike P just asked me to do a Christmas show for him, a Zoom Christmas show on the 23rd of December. If anybody's
Do it,
looking
buddy.
for
That's more gambling money.
entertainment on the 23rd. And actually, I think I'm doing so on the 23rd. Look for it, and either on my social media or Mike Patterson's social media. The 23rd there'll be an online Zoom show. I'm also doing one for Rumors Comedy in Rumors Comedy Club in Winnipeg.
Cool.
We're doing it on Christmas Day. And I'm like, I'm not allowed to see any of my family except for my kids, so I could probably use a 15-minute break from that. So I'm doing on Christmas Day. I had never done comedy on Christmas Day
That's
before.
cool.
So COVID is affording us some new experiences there.
Yeah, that'll be fun. There you go. Do a little stand-up. How are you enjoying it? Do you enjoy
And that'll be the last show I do possibly until I get
I have
vaccinated.
to watch a Zoom show. Do you have any of your Zoom shows online? I need to watch a Zoom show and see what this
Yeah, I've
looks
got
like.
all the Panderic ones are on. I have them. I could let you watch them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are they live? Are they... Oh,
yeah,
dude.
I shot them
Okay.
live, but I recorded them. So I have the
But
YouTube
are they on
feed.
YouTube?
I have them on YouTube, but I also have the Zoom recording. If you watch the Zoom recording, it makes more sense because when I talk to people on Zoom, I'll be like, hey, Karen, what's happening? Is your mom good? What are you watching? What are you eating? People on YouTube are like, who the fuck's he talking to? This is the internet. And then the YouTube people can't hear the response back from Zoom. So sometimes I would forget to say, Karen said that she's eating pickled dicks or whatever. I don't know. So it does get a little bit disjointed. I wanted to use the YouTube feed as a demo for somebody asking me the same question as you, but like a client.
Yeah.
What does the Zoom show even look like? And then I looked at the YouTube. I'm like, fuck, it looked a little bit disjointed. No wonder. Sometimes people would write in the comments on YouTube like, who the fuck are you talking to? This makes no sense to us. Do jokes. Tell jokes, you fuck.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't. Stop being mean to me.
That's what I found. I think I saw a clip of a comic posted, and I was just watching it, and I go, oh, God, I can't. Like, that's what I don't like about, like, I just watching it, and it's like, and they're just talking, because you can't, there's no real connection. Like, you're like, hey, man, look at this guy.
If
Is
you're in the
anyone...
Zoom, though, if you're in the Zoom, then yeah, you're connected because you could see me and you could see the person I'm talking to, and you can hear what both of us are saying. It's like being in a room, except you're not in a room. You can't see their legs. That's the only thing you're missing.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I feel like, everyone else can see them. The people on YouTube can't. But I don't know. I feel like it's a weird... And people are off. Like, people are not... Like, when you catch them... When they're outside of their house and you're like... You know, you talk to them. I feel like they're a little bit... They look a little more weirded out that you're talking to them in their living room.
No, I disagree.
You don't think
and
so?
what the fuck would you know? You haven't done any of them, and you look at you
I'm
with
just
all your
telling you,
fucking opinions.
I saw a clip, and I was like watching it, and I was
You
like,
saw
it
one
sounds...
clip. I've done like 27 of these shows.
Well,
I'm the expert.
asking you, Derek. This is what I'm doing. I don't know if you heard
Stop
the question
asserting
part.
your
I asked
pessimistic
you.
fucking
I said,
attitude.
what is it like? Because I saw a clip, and it didn't look fun. So answer the question instead of
It's
fucking
like
trying
live
to tell
comedy.
me I'm wrong.
There can be some live comedy shows that aren't fun. We've done plenty
100%.
of them.
Yeah. That's why I'm asking
So-
you. Is it fun or is it not fun? Because the one I saw looked terrible. That's what I'm asking
It can be fun. It needs to be set up. That's why I've made a point. Everyone that I accept to do for other people now.
Yeah.
I want a tech rehearsal, and I want to go through things that will make it more successful. Like I did one. So last week I did 4 in one day. 3 of them I did from my house, just like this, set up like this. Where I told the people, encourage your people to keep their video on, keep their audio on, unless of course they have dogs barking or whatever. Be aware that we hear what's going on at your thing. So mute yourself if it's going to be a disturbance.
Right.
No, though, it's great to hear you laugh. It's great to be able to ask you a question, like, oh, who's the office expert in whatever, networking or whatever. Oh, okay, it's you, Charlie. What do you think of the boss? Or,
Yeah.
So the fourth one I did was actually in a pro studio You know, they had like a 3 camera set up, technicians, everything. We had a proper stage with proper stage lighting and everything. The Zooms were put on big screen, like a big movie screen where you have all the little Zoom windows. But they told their people to mute themselves. So I can see all these people. And like, you know, you're looking at whatever, 100 different little boxes. And, you know, we see one person that's kind of like,
Right.
you know, looking
Fuck
at his
this
watch,
guy.
whatever.
You kick him out of the room?
No, yeah, we can't even. I can't even see his name, but at least if the sound was on, and I could. So say there was 100 people, and that's the thing. So it was a bilingual show. I was doing 15-minute in English, and then they had another comedian doing a half an hour in French. So it could be that the people that I was looking at that looked marabout and not having fun could be that they were French people. They just didn't understand what I was saying.
Okay.
But at least if I could hear say of the 100, say there was 30 anglophone.
Yeah.
It would be nice to hear those 30 people laughing if they were laughing. But then all to say, so I did 4 Zoom shows in one day. 3 of them were in my house where I got to tell them how to work it, you know, like make me the big screen and keep your microphones on. If you don't want me to see you, that's fine. I won't interact with you if you put your screen just your name. But it's the most connected we could be, the better. Those 3 shows were super fun. First of all, corporates are often not fun. They're Zoom, so they're, you know, pretty well promising to be less fun than a live show.
Yeah.
But these 3 that they let me kind of guide them on how to do it. They were super fun. The pro one, booked by an agent, you know, it was for a bunch of lawyers with no sound, and they did not listen to kind of the requests. I didn't have fun at all. I hated it. I was only doing 15 minutes, and I hated it.
Yeah, is there is there a thing that you can like click, like if you're like directly talking to someone, like could you address a person that's in the Zoom meeting? You're like,
totally.
look at this guy, and then do they know who you're talking to? Like, can you click on it and then everyone's screen kind of goes to
their
that guy?
name, like when
you'd have to be like, look at Fred.
Like when I'm looking at you, even in Skype, I see you, and your name would be like in this bottom corner right here. It would say Abdul.
So you'd say the guy's name, and then everyone's like, oh, which one is he? Oh, there he is.
Yeah, so things like that happen all the time. Like, so say Carolyn walked behind you right now.
Yeah, you'd be like,
even if you were in a mosaic of 24 little squares, I would see the motion in my, you know, it would grab my eye, the fact that a whole person walked by, which happened in one of the Zoom. The girl who actually was organizing the show, so I had been speaking to her over the course of the week to organize the thing and tell her, you know, how to make it more successful. I guess her husband walked behind her at some point, and I was just like, oh my God, everybody, is there a security department to this company? I think somebody's at Anne's house. Somebody just snuck into Anne's house. Does anybody know where she lives? We got to go check on her. Stupid things like that. But everyone knows who I'm talking about because they saw the man walk by too.
Yeah.
So they can, to answer your question, they can be very fun. I would never go so far as to say as fun as being live somewhere.
Yeah, gosh,
like the most magical live stand-up show. No, Zoom can't compare at all.
Yeah.
But they can be
for what we got
as fun as a Monday night at the Comedy Works, which there were some really fun nights there.
Yeah.
So they're not as bad as what you might imagine, but when they're bad, they're bad. They're as bad as any.
Yeah, but like you said, there's horrible stand-up shows too. There's fucking shows that have gone bad.
But it's in real life. Put it this way: in real life, I think you'll agree. There's times that you bomb, and you're like, you own it, right? I really was not on tonight. I was not sharp. Then there's other times that you bomb, and you know it's not you. It's the circumstance.
Yeah.
Not to blame the audience per se, but
maybe
this
the room
audience
was odd.
mixed with a waitress that fucking had a temper tantrum 5 minutes before showtime, or say the power not working or the mic cutting out every time, then you getting distracted by that and the audience feeling sorry, and there's circumstance can make it so that the show is not salvageable anymore. That kind of thing can happen a lot more easily on Zoom. Like things really have to align perfectly.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of room for distraction. Is what it looks like. And like, especially I'm very fucking short attention span. If I see something like that, I'll be like there and there, and then like, oh, the sound's not working. Fuck, I gotta do this, and I don't know, there's something that there's a lot. I'm sure if they did it with a sound tech and like there's probably a way to perfect it, to make it pretty fucking cool. And you
The
probably
sound
do.
is fine. The sound is
No, but like
yeah.
I mean, entertaining wise, I don't know. I gotta watch more. Like I'd like to watch them to see.
Like we did the debaters yesterday.
That's doable.
Where-
The debaters
where
is
it
definitely
had, like,
doable.
It had like there's production value to it, right? So when we do our opening statement, we'd get the big screen, and Steve and me would be here while Erica's in the big one. And then
Yeah.
when I talk, like kept swapping out, kind of like camera one, camera two, switching like that.
yeah.
Then we like for the firing line, we had visual elements to it. So it would be the question in the firing line plus an image to support the question.
Okay.
So there was, and like the audience was able to send emojis, and it would come right across the screen that we could see, like when if they clap or if they laugh or whatever.
Oh, that's cool. But the debaters works because the debaters is in an audience interaction kind of thing. It's you against the other comics, so it's like this,
Right.
like it's me and you. So that
Right.
could work. That I like. That's a doable. I think that's a more in that realm. It's just it's very. I mean, it's good. It's great that people are doing it. What the fuck else are we gonna do?
It came for me. It came it was born of necessity.
Yeah,
I
you
need to
got to do
support
it.
my
You got
family.
no choice. Yeah.
But now that I'm in it, some shows are great. Some shows are really,
That's good to
not
hear.
great. But I get paid anyway, so
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. I always try my best, like I did when shows were live, and sometimes the circumstances just weren't set up for me to succeed. So
Yeah. Well,
you
you're
do
definitely
your
doing
best.
great. You're doing a bunch of them, so it's definitely going well. And you've also started early on, so that's a leg up. That's good.
that I learned the platform on my own terms.
Yeah.
Definitely helped going into doing the corporates, right? That I did a few of my own shows to figure out the platform and figure out how the interactivity would be.
Yeah.
And so now I know how to do it. Yeah. Anyway, don't get me wrong. I'm still very anxious for live to come back.
Oh yeah, of
but,
course.
But if companies moving forward, like we've said before, everything henceforth will be forever different. We can't. COVID has changed the world forever in
Yeah, I
many
think for a
aspects
while,
of our lives. So it could be that next year for the je sais pas de réunion de je sais pas les producteurs laitiers de Saskatchewan. Hey, we could probably save some budget, save some budget for strippers this year by instead of flying the comedian in, putting him up in a hotel, and then flying him home. What if we just did it over Zoom? Don't have to feed him, don't have to do anything, don't have to fly him anywhere, and then we can just go spend the $2,000 on that we saved on his flight.
They do
the
that.
strip joint.
They have like strip joint. I did a corporate once, and I'm sure you've done these and you've seen this. I've done a corporate once where the owner hired a bunch of like hot chicks. Like I don't know if they're models.
Yeah, I think you
or
told me this before.
Yeah, hired a bunch of like babes to just hang out because it was like a computer company.
Yeah.
Fuck, I can't remember the name. It's a pretty big company, and they're in Montreal. They have an office in Montreal, and they did, and there was just babes dressed in skimpy outfits, and like
To
they were
make
hanging
their
out, and, like
party look
giggling
cooler.
with, just so because it's all dudes that are like nerdy and they're unsociable, and so they hired like the owner hired all these women to just hang out at their party and make it cooler. So it does happen. That's funny that they actually have like, how do you classify that as a company? Like, where's your budget?
An expense. How does that look on the expense report?
Yeah, like, how do you write that off? Like, how do you,
Party decor. Decor for the party.
yeah, how do you write that off? I wonder what they put it under, but it's very interesting. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, are you kidding me?
All to say, though, to get back to what we were talking about, I think the streamed in comedy show, I think, will be more common coming out of this than it was before this.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start a company where I sell. I'm gonna have a roster of hot women on it, and I'm gonna sell them. I'm gonna put them in your Zoom shows, so it looks like your Zoom show's got a little more chicks. That,
Like, what is that?
It'll be
Robert Palmer. I'm the Robert Palmer of fucking comedy.
be an online pimp and fucking
You're gonna have to face it. You're addicted to love.
doesn't make your company look like it's just a bunch of nerds sitting in a Zoom show. All right, Derek, what do you want? You want to get the picks out? We're
Let's
running
get these picks in.
We're running.
Hopefully this was a COVID-free enough podcast for everybody. I don't know how entertaining it was, but
Why
here
were
we
you
go.
not
This is-
entertained? Are you
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained, Derek?
I am. I'm riveted by conversations with you, Abdul.
No, it's okay. I know you're
we go.
you're not as interested sometimes. What do you want?
Here we go.
Can't win them all.
We got Christmas decor. So good.
Yeah, you're all fucking jazzed up. All right, what do you got? What's your picks?
All right, here we
Who's
go.
winning?
Starting with the picks. The tomorrow early game. I'm gonna note
Bring
these
on
so I
the
don't have to
bacon.
listen to the podcast after, like to bring on the thing. So last week, 11-5. Pretty respectable. The big losses last week were the Texans. I thought for sure the Texans were gonna take it last week. They did not. The second huge kick in the nuts for me last week was the Saints. The Saints lost to the fucking Eagles. So even though I had a winning week, 11-5, that one game I had it locked as a lockety lock. Killed me. So I only lost 5 out of 16 games, but I had the Saints pretty well tied with everything, and the Falcons got slaughtered by the Bears. The Texans. I had them beating the Bears. They got slaughtered, and I really thought that the 49ers would win. Although I put money on the Washington. Anyway, big week, but my parlay system backfired. On to this week. Last week 11-5. This week we have the Chargers at the Raiders. I think that both those teams have very much been struggling. The young quarterback will have lost confidence for Los Angeles Chargers. I think Derek Carr is going to come out with a big week because they're still actually in the hunt. So I'm going Raiders there. Bills, Broncos. The Broncos played really well this past week. The Bills, I think, are a Super Bowl contender. I honestly believe the Bills are... They're playing great. They're playing really good. This last week's game was so exciting. 2 games in a row. So the late game on Sunday night, which was the Bills and Steelers. The Steelers having only lost 1 game the previous week, 11-1 record. The Bills handled them, and it was pretty nice to see. So I'm gonna go Bills over the Broncos, and I'm pretty confident about that. Packers, Panthers. Packers are playing Packers football right now. Rodgers looks so cool back there. The Panthers are still very much struggling. So the Packers over the Panthers. Texans are at Indianapolis and the Colts. Texans really have not looked good the last couple of weeks. The Colts are looking strong. Their defense is still top 3 in the league. So I'm going Colts over the Texans. Detroit Lions at the Tennessee Titans. Both of these, this is going to be an exciting game. The Lions really stayed in it with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. The Titans need to win, though. The Titans need to win. Their playoff hopes, every loss, they have 4 games left. Any loss will mean they're probably not going to make the playoffs. So I'm going to take the Titans over the Lions. Bears, Vikings. It would be great to see the Bears beat the Vikings. I think the Bears having 2 back-to-back weeks of amazing play. Mitchell Trubisky is looking better now that they've given him a second shot. He had lost the starting position to Foles. He looked great this past week, but the Vikings and Kirk Cousins are really, really playing well. They have their Cook, their running back. What's his name? Jared Cook? I don't know. Anyway, the running back, he's so freaking good. So I think the Vikings are going to handle the Bears, which is too bad because the Bears were looking good this season. Seattle, Washington. Seattle is struggling. Washington is on the upswing, except Alex Smith got hurt again, it looks like. I think the Seahawks on the road are really terrible. I'm hoping Washington is like a 3-point underdog. Then I will take Washington. But I'm going to call Washington as the winner of the game anyway, over the Seahawks, who are struggling. Patriots, Dolphins. Tough one again. It is still Bill Belichick. They're getting beat up. Cam Newton got benched. The Dolphins are putting up so many points. I'm going to actually take the Dolphins in Miami over the Patriots, which is going to be a crazy game. I probably won't bet that one, so people feel free not to. Jaguars, Ravens. Jaguars, Ravens, forget it. Baltimore is on fire right now. Jaguars, they've had a really tough schedule, but the Ravens are going to walk away with that one. Tampa Bay, Falcons, I predict a high-scoring game there. Tampa Bay at Atlanta. But I think Tom Brady's he's got hopes for the playoffs, so I think the Bucs are gonna win that one over Atlanta, who just doesn't have a finishing touch. They don't have the win. They put up 40 points and they'll still lose the game. I don't get them. 49ers, Cowboys. Both of those teams are decimated with injuries, so it's really hard to say which team will show up. Because they're playing in Dallas, I'm going to go Dallas on that one because the 49ers really are struggling. Their young quarterback who replaced Garoppolo is doing well, but I think the Cowboys have one magical win left at home. Eagles, Cardinals. Like the Eagles pulled out I think the Eagles. They started this rookie quarterback because Carson Wentz, the second highest paid quarterback I think in the league, is just playing like such garbage. His confidence now is totally shot because they've benched him for a 20-year-old rookie. But this kid won. He did great. He put up the numbers. They won the game. The Cardinals, though, are really playing well. Their offensive weapons are huge. Their defense is playing decent. I think the Cards are going to beat the Eagles, but I do think the Eagles are going to score probably 24 points. Jets, Rams. The Rams are going to beat the Jets. The Jets pulled out that one win miraculously, which is crazy. That was the other game that fucked me. The Jets won a game. I couldn't believe it. They hadn't won a game all season, and they won. Who did they beat? Oh no, they lost to the Seahawks. That's wrong. They're still winless. The Rams are going to beat the Jets. Chiefs, Saints. The Saints showed that they were playing their backup quarterback. I think Drew Brees might be back this week, but the Chiefs are just too good. I love the Saints, but the Chiefs are going to beat the Saints this week. Unless they sit Patrick Mahomes, because they've already clinched their playoff spot. They're already looking at a bye before the playoffs start. They get a full week of rest. Patrick Mahomes, though, is a competitor. I don't think he'll want to sit it out. But if Patrick Mahomes plays, the Chiefs are going to win it. If he doesn't play, I might change that pick for myself. So only if Patrick Mahomes plays do we take the Chiefs. Browns, Giants. The Browns look so good this week. Hopefully they bring that confidence back into next week. The Giants are looking better and better, but I don't think they have what it takes to beat the Browns. Steelers, Bengals, it's a no-brainer. The Steelers are going to win that. They've lost 2 in a row. They will not stand for a third loss. One more win, they clinch a playoff spot too, and that's going to happen this week against the very sad Bengals. And that is it.
That's the picks.
That's the picks. Good luck. Do with it what you want, but I'm hot.
Well, best of luck, man, and fucking gamble away. Let's have a good week.
He just gave up. It's like the father that gives up trying to fix their kid. Oh, man,
just gamble away. Whatever makes you happy, son. Whatever makes you happy.
Told Angela, I'm like, I can't think of what to buy. No, I didn't tell her. I told my mom, can't think of what to buy the kids for Christmas this year. I think I'm just going to buy them a half a pound of weed. My mother's like, oh my God, I'm sick. I can't. I'm like, if you can't beat them, join them.
It's hilarious. All right, buddy. Well, have a good one. We'll talk next week.
Yeah, man. Have a good week.
Cheers.
We'll see you soon. Merry Christmas, everybody. In case we don't,
Christmas.
I'm sure we'll speak before then. But,
yeah, we got another episode before Christmas.
Yuletide spirit behind me. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays.